And that was right after Epstein had first walked into Bill Clinton's life. That was between White House visit number 1 and White House visit number 2, while Epstein was funding the refurbishing of the entire West Wing of the White House.
Joe Rogan fans, get ready. If you enjoyed Ian Carroll's recent appearance on the JRE podcast, you're in for a treat. Today, we dive deep into his life, lifestyle, and some mind-blowing facts that you probably didn't know about him. Stay till the end, because we've got some fascinating insights that will make you see him in a whole new light. Let's get started. Ian Carroll might not be a household name like Elon Musk or Alex Jones, but he's a man of many talents. From his entrepreneurial journey to his love for science fiction and deep discussions on conspiracy theories, Ian is a fascinating personality. But before we get into his net worth and lifestyle, let's take a step back and look at his journey. Ian Carroll was born in Dublin, Ireland, and like many self-made individuals, his path wasn't always smooth. In the mid-1980s, he made a game-changing trip to Hong Kong, and that's where his journey really began. It was a bold move, leaving behind the familiar to step into a fast-paced global market, but Ian embraced the challenge head-on. Entrepreneurship runs through Ian's veins. Over the years, he successfully built multiple businesses in Hong Kong. His first major venture was the candle company, now known as Carroll & Chan, which specializes in natural beeswax candles. What's unique about these candles? Unlike traditional candles, beeswax burns cleaner, brighter, and longer. This might seem like a simple business, but in reality, it reflects Ian's philosophy: quality, sustainability, and attention to detail. But that wasn't enough for Ian. He expanded his expertise into the wine retail industry, acquiring a small grocery store and turning it into Soho Wines and Spirits, one of Hong Kong's well-known wine businesses. Now, that's what we call vision. He saw an opportunity, adapted to the local culture, and built a thriving business that caters to wine lovers across the region. Behind every successful man is a strong support system. For Ian, that's his wife Liana, and their 2 adopted children from Hong Kong. Unlike many high-profile entrepreneurs, Ian values family time and ensures that his work-life balance remains intact. He's not just about the hustle, he's about creating a fulfilling life. And here's a fun fact. When Ian isn't busy running businesses or discussing deep conspiracy theories, he's indulging in his love for science fiction. He's read hundreds of sci-fi books and even used to carry one in his coat pocket at all times. Any sci-fi fans here? Let us know in the comments. He often draws inspiration from sci-fi literature, seeing it as a glimpse into what the future might hold and how technology and society evolve. Now let's talk about what really put Ian Carroll on the radar for Joe Rogan fans: his appearance on the JRE podcast. If you caught episode number 2284, you know it was packed with thought-provoking discussions. Let's break down some of the key topics they covered. First up, conspiracy theories. Ian and Joe explored how humanity's love for storytelling often leads to the rise of conspiracy theories. While some theories might be completely unfounded, others have deep historical roots. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good conspiracy theory discussion?
It's a good example of how the mainstream narrative had Nixon as a crook.
Yeah.
And he's just one of many examples, right? And when you
Yes.
really start to look into it, you realize, I mean, probably not the greatest guy, but what was the real story there? What were they
Right.
framing? Why are they trying to get him out?
From government cover-ups to secret societies, Ian and Joe examined why people are drawn to these ideas and how they shape public perception. One of the most controversial topics they touched on was the JFK assassination. Ian brought up the possibility of multiple shooters and the eerie pattern of witnesses dying under suspicious circumstances. If that doesn't raise eyebrows, I don't know what will. It's one of those stories that continues to fascinate people, even decades later. The question remains, was it a lone shooter or something much bigger? Ian's take added new fuel to the ongoing debate. Then came the bombshell intelligence agencies. Ian highlighted the historical relationship between the CIA and organized crime, a topic that has been whispered about for decades. According to Ian, the CIA's involvement in covert operations, including drug trafficking, has been well documented. This, of course, led to one of the biggest modern scandals, Jeffrey Epstein. Speaking of Epstein, Ian discussed how his connections to intelligence agencies and the world's elite highlight a disturbing trend of corruption and exploitation. His insights left a lot of fans questioning just how deep this rabbit hole goes. Was Epstein merely a pawn in a much larger game? And how much of the truth will we ever really know? These are the kinds of discussions that make the JRE podcast so compelling.
Right after Epstein had first walked into Bill Clinton's life, that was between White House visit number 1 and White House visit number 2, while Epstein was funding the refurbishing of the entire West Wing of the White House.
I'm glad you brought up Epstein, because there was a point that I was going to make earlier that I forgot.
But the conversation didn't stop there. Ian and Joe also delved into the influence of technology and media. The rise of the internet has democratized information dissemination, allowing alternative narratives to challenge mainstream media. But with this freedom comes a challenge. How do we separate fact from fiction in a world overloaded with information? Ian shared his views on how social media platforms shape public opinion and how algorithms control the narratives we see every day. And then there was the discussion on UAP's unidentified aerial phenomena. This is where things got really interesting. Ian and Joe speculated on the connection between UAPs, science, and consciousness, raising questions about the nature of reality itself. Could advanced civilizations already be among us? Are governments withholding groundbreaking discoveries? These are the big questions that leave us wondering just how much we don't know. Now, let's talk numbers. While Ian Carroll's exact net worth isn't public knowledge, his successful businesses suggest that he's doing quite well for himself. His ventures in candle making and wine retailing provide a steady income, and his business acumen has allowed him to sustain and grow his enterprises over the years. Entrepreneurs who can build multiple businesses in different industries typically have a strong financial foundation, and Ian's ability to navigate different markets shows his expertise. But what's most impressive isn't the money, it's his lifestyle. Ian prefers a balanced life, focusing on business, family, and intellectual pursuits. He's not just about making money, he's about making an impact. He values experiences over material wealth, always looking for ways to challenge himself intellectually and expand his worldview. So what can we take away from Ian Carroll's story? He's an entrepreneur, a deep thinker, and a man who isn't afraid to challenge mainstream narratives. His conversation with Joe Rogan opened up new discussions on conspiracy theories, intelligence agencies, and the evolving role of media. He reminds us that questioning the world around us isn't just important, it's necessary.
If you're a pedophile, you want to work with kids at Nickelodeon. If you're a freak, what do? You get in the underwear
That's how
business.
they're recruiting. They're recruiting from the Victoria's Secret modeling, and
Right.
Jeffrey Epstein was claiming that he was a rep. But do you know about the CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch that went down for running a sex trafficking ring?
Yeah.
What do you think about Ian Carroll's insights? Do you believe his take on conspiracy theories, the CIA, and the JFK assassination? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get a conversation going. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of Joe Rogan and his guests. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep questioning everything. See you in the next video.